Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Entitled Parents. Story 1. My entitled uncle was arrested for a repeat crime but not on me. https://www.reddit.com/r/entitledparents/. Story 2. What do I do about my mill? Last year, I had my mill and her mom and 2 daughters come live with me, my fian, and 3 kids. It's been really hectic from the beginning. Help with child care for about a couple hours a day from her daughters, no help with housework, or other things. She pays $300 a month from her mom's SSI for rent, but all our bills with Wi-Fi accumulates more than $600, rent is $2,850. She was supposed to help with food stamps in the beginning, never did. It was only supposed to be a couple months, but here we are a year later. We are lying on our lease that we have a whole extra family here, and my fian has seemed to care less and less about her being here. I'm having to work my butt off overtime to get the funds for our place. My fian is working his butt off trying to keep the place. I get my kids up for school every day. I get them breakfast, take them to school, pick them up and go to work when my fian gets home. She has her daughters watch my 2-year-old daughter a couple hours a day in between my son's baseball and me getting home. Mill hadn't worked in about 7 years and is planning on not working in the future and wants to be on a program that pays her rent so she can stay home with her girls while they live off her mom's SSI. Not sure what to do in this situation since I'm stressing 24/7 busting balls while she's home chillin'. My fian wanted her out before but doesn't seem to care as much since she says she'd have to move in with her uncle and I guess it's not the best place? We're about to not have a place since we are drowning. Trying to keep our head over water while all this weight on our feet. Am I wrong for feeling the way I do? What would you guys do in my situation? I have severe depression, anxiety, and PTSD and I feel like this has brought me to the lowest point I could feel. I hate this. I would also like to add she has gotten in the middle of me and my fiancé's arguments and would consistently take his side, even when he's very clearly wrong. He has anger issues and lashes out sometimes. I'm 27 BTW. Story 3. Being stalked by parents. Any advice? Hello. So for context, I, 22F, am posting on someone else's account to avoid my parents from scouring my phone. A few ago, my mom demanded that I break up with my new boyfriend, claiming that she had heard from God that we were talking about her behind her back. She said that she had strictly forbid me from telling anyone about the things that she does, and she says that I betrayed her trust. She's been extremely controlling since birth, not allowing me my own room and forcing me to sleep in the same room as her and my dad, even till today. She's also emotionally abusive, waving knives at me, calling me names, accusing me of being the devil incarnate and more. She also calls my dad a buffoon, tells him she hates him and she wishes he was dead, an everyday occurrence, and disappears for long hours making him drive around looking for her. I'll now go on to what's happening now. After she demanded that I break up with my boyfriend, she'll leave me texts taunting me, telling me that she knows I'm talking about her. And this will happen right after I confide in my boyfriend about how confused and afraid I feel. When I get my lunch, she'd text me, asking me whether I just sat down for lunch. When I ask how she knows, she'd just laugh and say that God told her so. I'm genuinely afraid. I don't feel safe and I feel like every movement I do is tracked. I feel like nowhere is safe for me and I need advice on what to do, how to see whether I'm being tracked, etc. Note, I live in a country with a really high cost of living, and most people can't move out till in their late 20s, so moving out isn't a good option. Edit. Thank you for the kind words and all the advice. I'm looking to create my own bank account and I'll start depositing money into it soon. We'll be looking for a place to stay. Edit. She now says that God's speaking to her about how I'm sleeping around with random men. I'm definitely not. Story 4. Parents think they get a say-so over my children. Update. Thank you everyone for the words of advice and support. I stood my ground and my kids will be spending a week with their dad. I really needed to vent and having all of this support has made me feel a lot better. Thank you so much everyone. My ex and I separated beginning of the year, and I moved into my mom's house with my 2 kids. They're both under 3. My parents do not like my ex as he hasn't helped much financially. He puts an effort on seeing the kids and talking to them. My oldest got sick and can't go to daycare for a week, so I contacted him and asked if he could watch the kids for a week. I can't miss work or I'll get fired. He said he would, no problem. The problem is when I told my mom what was going on, she thinks she gets a say-so on my kids having a relationship with their dad. My ex and I had a rocky end and that is between us and not our kids. I believe as long as he puts in effort, it's not my place to say he can't have a relationship with his kids. My parents have also offered to pay for my divorce, but only on the terms that I get his parental rights terminated. My parents don't like the guy that much, so I of course have not took that offer. The big gripe is my mom thinking she is my kid's parent, and treating me like a child and like I get no say over my children. So now it is about to be a whole argument with my mother over this and I'm standing my ground. It is just incredibly frustrating to deal with this. Story 5. Would you rather give your child C. diff and other airborne sicknesses or let your stepmom shower because she's been hot and sweaty? So I work at a hospital as a housekeeper. This is my first weekend working a weekend and when I came home I was ready to take a shower. I was talking to my younger brother and I tell him let me take a shower then we will go play. My stepmom said or you can help me and your father. She's probably talking about mowing the lawn because my father has a pulled muscle in his knee. He is currently outside mowing lawn by himself. My stepmom goes well I was gonna take a shower because I'm hot and sweaty. I tell her that I came into contact with C. diff today and I need to take a shower. My stepmom and stepsister do not do any housework. Especially my stepsister. My father, my sister, and I are the only ones who do 99% of the housework, inside and out. Edit. My stepmom was a nurse about 10 years ago until she didn't renew her nursing license. So she shut up after I told her that I cleaned a room with a C. diff person. Edit 2. I'm so sorry for everyone's loss and for those who stood by the side of someone with C. diff. I can only imagine how difficult it was. Thank you for sharing your stories. Story 6. 7-year-old beats up 3-year-old and only one mom is mad. This happened years ago so I don't remember perfectly, but a lot I do remember. Backstory, this took place at EntitledParents in the kids center, basically babysitting but with stricter rules. We had a lot of regulars so most of us knew all the kids. One boy, R. 3, had been coming for over a year and had some behavior issues and it's not uncommon for him to bother other kids, taking toys, hitting, throwing, etc. Story starts with checking in 3 new kids, M, 7, S, 3, and N, 1. The first day they were delights, a bit pestery, but nothing extreme. They immediately start to misbehave when mom comes to pick them up. She says they're bad with her, but great with others and that they're here on vacation for 3 weeks. These kids according to her have all been to gym childcare before, not this gym though. Fast forward the next week. M, the 7-year-old is being pestered by R. Not unusual and we have a discussion with R's mom comes in and since all is good she decides to go in the sauna. Again not unusual, she knows her child can be a troublemaker. N has begun crying and we call her mother to come get her. Company policy is we cannot hold babies for more than 10 minutes. I walk to the bathroom and hear crying. This is where it gets juicy. There was a big play structure, think mini McDonald's play place, in the child care unit. This is where the crying is coming from. I investigate and see M on top of R punching him in the stomach. I go inside and break it up. R is crying like crazy and M is fuming. I walk them out holding each by the wrist and ask M why he punched R. M, he was trying to bite me. I internally roll my eyes and bring both boys to the front where my supervisor, B, and co-worker are and tell them what happened. They got in contact with MS mom, it's been like 30 minutes now. She didn't want to come and told us to just make the baby a bottle. B explained that we can't do that due to company policy and she finally agreed to come, but still hadn't shown up. Since I knew where RS mom, RM, was I go get her and walk past MS mom on the way. Kovo as follows. Me, R got hurt. RM, what? Oh okay, let me get my stuff. We walk out of the sauna. RM, so what happened? Me, well, I had heard crying and another boy was on top of R punching him in the stomach. The boy said R tried to bite him, but I only saw R getting punched. RM, okay, I'll be right there. I then leave her to finish putting her shoes on and go back to the kids center. MS mom, now M, is there listening to B explain the situation. I come in and explain what I saw. I don't remember the initial conversation I had with her, but she went to the bathroom with her kids and then came back. M says R was bothering him. B, we don't doubt that. R has a history of trouble. Me, unfortunately I only saw M on top of R. If something happened before we did not know about it. M, well, is he, R, going to get disciplined? B, unfortunately since we have no evidence we cannot suspend him. Since this is his, first offense, we just need to send him home today. And what about R? He was biting my son. Why doesn't he have to go home? B, actually because he got hurt we are sending him home as well. We can keep them separated in the future, but we can't suspend R as there is no proof he did anything to M. M said he didn't do anything and he wouldn't lie. My kids have gone to gyms their whole lives. They were born and raised in a gym. Me, I'm sorry miss, like I said I only saw the end of it. It's not that I don't believe M was provoked, I just didn't see it. In the time of this conversation RM has come, asked what happened, thanked us and left. She spent a whole 2 minutes before leaving and didn't even talk to M. The mother whose son beat up her 3-year-old. It was obvious from what I saw that M had been punching R with a lot force. I dk how long he went but I saw at least 3 or 4 punches as I was getting the boys. RM was completely calm and unfazed. She was just glad her son wasn't the troublemaker this time, she actually said that. M was insisting R be punished and that M did nothing wrong. M had changed what he said to me and B when he spoke to his mom. Eventually M gave up and left but not until she argued for like 20 minutes that she shouldn't have to take her kids. She would have had to take them anyway since her baby would not stop crying and after 15 minutes we have to call parents for pickup. After this she didn't like me much and made a point to talk down to me. There's an epilogue to this story but I am a way to add that. Story 7. My family can't accept the reason I'm pulling away from them emotionally. TW, brief mention of Ed. I don't even know if this belongs in this sub. I'm back home from college for the summer, and I finally, at last got the backbone that I've been lacking a majority of my life. I have some semblance of self-confidence. But the minute I come home, that just gets ripped away from me, and suddenly, I'm 13 again and I can do nothing but sit and stare at the floor while my parents berate me. I don't even act out or anything. I just go to work, go to my internship, do my online courses, maybe play some Stardew, and sleep. I don't even go out or see my friends. Every time I come home, I think if I just stay as invisible as possible, they won't find a reason to yell at me, but nope, they always do, and I'm so sick of it. I'm purposefully looking for internships out of state next summer just so I won't be home for the full 3 months. Last night, they asked why we don't have a normal relationship while yelling and screaming at me about the usual, family disappointment, they wish I was never born, etc. They asked why I can't talk to them and I just said I don't know how to talk to you. The minute I said that, all hell breaks loose, my mom starts wailing, saying it's not a good enough reason. My parents say I'm not their daughter, my dad accuses me of having trust issues and thinking that my family is dumb. I tried to explain but they kept cutting me off and interjecting, and just invalidated every reason why I don't speak to them that much. To clarify, we do talk, I talk to them daily, but I don't share much with them about when I'm struggling when I'm at university. The real reason is that I don't know what to say to them, because the minute I try to voice how I'm feeling, I just know they'll bring it up later, when I'm at my lowest, and just use it against me, because they've done it multiple times in the past. For example, I went through a traumatic situation in 2021, that led to me developing an ED and having to go to therapy, and they brought it up 3 times in yesterday's conversation. My dad said it was proof I was fucked up because I needed a shrink. My mom said that the experience was more traumatic for her, even though I had to live through it, and for some reason, my trauma and me as a person is the reason their life is shit even though I don't even live at home anymore. I haven't lived here for almost a year. I don't know how to tell my parents the reason I have trouble speaking to them is because of them, because every time I try to, they're unable to accept that they might be the reason why. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.